See, if this was men, they defend each other on their same team. I mean, men will fight from two teams, but when somebody checks you on who's on your team, you defend that guy. Now, there's also a racial element to this. We can't deny that. I'll just say it's not always racism when a white person succeeds. Okay.
And it's not always racism when black people hip check them either. Right? Like
right.
Both are at play.
No.
I think it's natural for a megastar to come in and people say, I'm kind of tired of hearing
it's
about
everything.
It.
It's women are catty. The league is very lesbian, and she's not. And there's race. There's a lot of going on.
I'm sure many of you are aware that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have been knocked out of the WNBA playoffs.
You know, when I was driving to the game today, obviously it's annoying because there were way too many Caitlin fans and but like it just kudos because it's amazing to see so many people in women's basketball jerseys. It's amazing to see the excitement and the joy that comes out of that. So although I feel like our Dallas fans could have done better, I had mixed feelings obviously seeing all the Caitlin jerseys in our home, but it's an amazing sign for women's basketball, and it's just great how far we've come, and it's just fun. Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing.
Many of you are likely aware that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have been eliminated from the WNBA playoffs.
Not allowed anymore to show the number one draft pick in the WNBA draft as opposed to Angel Reese, a woman who can't run. I mean, next time you watch Angel Reese play, yes, she can play. She's a good player, but she can't run. But we're not allowed to show the number one pick in the draft, the most dynamic player, including everybody. Why? Well, because it's racist. Yes, it's racist according to...
After skipping the Olympics, Clark made a strong comeback, leading her team to the playoffs. Unfortunately, they were swept in just 2 games.
Madness, and I think it's on its way to ending. I do. I think that Netflix special last night showed that black folks can get on white folks on black folks, and everybody can laugh about it. And truthfully, if all the little D-bags like Seth Davis or Dan Wolken or Greg Doyle, the little white liberal peens in the ass don't like it, screw them. That's what I saw last night. Maybe we are, in fact, coming back. Woke progressives are alleging it was racist for the Indiana Fever's preseason game was available on WNBA League Pass and Angel Reese's Chicago Sky preseason.
The WNBA has become quite a spectacle, with some players presenting themselves as victims. Clark, however, has brought significant attention to the league, showcasing the immense talent of its athletes. But recently, things have taken a strange turn.
7 years, these lesbian, angry OGs have milled around on the periphery of the sports world. They've had a league simply because, well, the NBA felt like we better help our sisters out. So let's fund a league where, well, frankly, it makes us look good, doesn't cost us any real money, and, you know, we can promote our league in the...
Some players have started accusing fans of racism, which seems to stem from jealousy over Clark's rising fame. This controversy also involves Brittany Griner, who has made similar accusations.
A couple of stars that nobody cared about. Crazy-ass Brittany Griner going and getting her dumbass arrested. You had Diana Taurasi. I don't know what Diana Taurasi was doing. I never saw 1 second of Sue Bird, but I still swear to God, at the end of the day, she's not going to end up with that Megan Rapinoe. She's going to be a mom with 2 kids. That's just my opinion. 350 million people in this world. I can give you my opinion. She doesn't look like...
The issue is that there's little to no evidence supporting these allegations. While such claims have surfaced throughout the season, they've intensified during the playoffs, with fans being labeled as racist without substantial proof.
What's a lesbian look like? Angry. She's happy. Real happy. I digress. Let's talk about the angry. So now here comes Caitlin Clark. Little white girl. Not that that should matter, because in sports, it doesn't, except in this sport. In this sport, that's all that matters. See, you got the angry African-American lesbians who just can't handle somebody coming into their league as a white girl with a bunch of attention. Now, I hearken back. I'm always
This situation reminds me of the Duke volleyball incident, where fans were accused of shouting racial slurs, but investigations later found no evidence to support those claims.
In sports, don't want other women in sports to succeed. They don't. Jealousy, it's just who they are, she said. Boy, have we seen that or what? Honest to God, little white straight girl comes in and does nothing but ball. She doesn't talk about politics. She doesn't talk about her gay lifestyle, which she's straight. Somebody mentions her boyfriend. She says, yeah, we're going to movies. We're going to go shoot baskets. People start hounding her boyfriend. Connor McCaffrey, son of Fran. He don't care. He's a dude. He's used to the attention, being at Iowa, being the son of a Big Ten basket.
In the WNBA, it seems some players have adopted a victim mentality instead of addressing more pressing issues like income disparities among players.
Better than anyone. We got creepy-ass Greg Doyle. I'm glad that you're here. We got someone named Kennedy Carter knocking her ass into the freaking next week, and all she does is go, hey, let me drop 20 on your head. And then we got Angel Reese's dumbass. Now, she's just stupid. I feel bad for Angel.
But here's the thing, they're not putting in the effort to truly connect with fans. Instead of welcoming support with open arms, it often feels like they'd rather focus on grievances.
Conversation around Indiana Fever fans. It's all just misguided over-hatred of Caitlin Clark. And pointing the finger at, those guys, they're the racists, when really, y'all are the racists. The people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlin Clark and the new fan base that she brought. And justifying, again, as we talked about yesterday, Nike won't even put out a Caitlin Clark commercial, won't put out a Caitlin Clark shoe, because Nike has decided that they must bow to the angry black feminists, the Black Lives Matter movement, the feminist movement overall.
Honestly, I saw this coming even before the season began. Some players, particularly Brittany Griner, seem to be acting out in ways that only deepen this divide.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in sports, but Nike, in order to promote equity and fairness and diversity and inclusion, you must spend all of your money promoting Asia Wilson, someone most people don't know exists and don't care about. You have to do that out of racial equity and racial justice. Don't lean into Caitlin Clark, who could make you a bunch of money when your stock is tanking and you've had to fire your CEO. Lean into Asia Wilson, a 6'5" person no one really knows or cares about. And it's not.
Let's dive deeper. Griner claims she faced racist taunts during WNBA games. But honestly, I'm skeptical.
It's the wrong type of fans. They tweet mean things to Alyssa Thomas. This stuff is a joke. And what I will give Christy Sides credit for, and I know many people will be calling for Christy Sides to be fired. I'm not going to be one of them at this point. I think she did walk into, and they inherited a very tough situation. The WNBA has been ignored for 27 years. Now it comes with not just an incremental increase of media attention and fan attention, but with a monumental increase of media attention and fan attention.
Griner has been in the league for years, yet we haven't heard much about racism until now. It's curious that so many players are suddenly speaking out at once.
In the WNBA was prepared to handle this. They have bad leadership in Kathy Engelbert. They have bad leadership in Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA. These are weak, ineffectual leaders that don't know what they're doing. They've been installed. They don't have any real instincts. They're not qualified for their jobs. And so they've allowed the Caitlin Clark abuse to go on and on and on while everybody pretends, oh, it's Caitlin Clark's fans. They're on Twitter and they're horrible.
What exactly did these fans say that was racist? It seems like even heckling a player can now be labeled as racism. This reminds me of when LeBron James had fans removed from an NBA game, claiming their insults were racist, though no solid evidence surfaced.
And inappropriate behavior of their very own WNBA players. Those have been the real bigots. They hate Caitlin Clark. And I occasionally try to defend Cheryl Swopes, but at this point, it's just crystal clear. I haven't spent much time trying to defend Angel Reese. I've spent a tiny bit, but I just can't. Angel Reese is a hater. And her whole media popularity, her whole platform is built off the back of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is kunta.
Similarly, Griner's recent allegations have shown a spotlight on WNBA fans, labeling their behavior as problematic.
She's the actual slave that everybody else is exploiting for their benefit. Angel Reese included at the top of that list. Now Alyssa Thomas jumps in and says, oh, let me get my piece. Dejanay Carrington jumps in, let me get.
Griner has faced racist comments before, and just this past Wednesday, following Game 2 of the WNBA playoffs, the league released a statement addressing the issue.
Got poked in the eye and injured, black eye. You can still see the black eye last night. There was no foul called during Game 1 when it happened. There was no investigation of whether this was a flagrant act and deserved any type of penalty. Totally ignored. Nothing. Your most important player, the person that's driving all of your engagement. Everybody's making money off Caitlin Clark. She gets gouged in the eye by a player who clearly hates her. We've seen the previous behavior this season. We've seen her tweets. Clearly hates her. WNBA, there's no statement being made. Hey, we got to be more careful. We got these ladies with these long fingernails. We can't have this happen. We investigated this. We don't think it's intentional. We do think it's intentional. None of that happened.
Can you believe it? The WNBA is now calling out its own fans for their behavior. It seems like expanding their audience isn't a priority if it means confronting racism, derogatory remarks, and threats.
So it's an actual joke that it did happen. Something that the players can joke and laugh about and mock later. But oh my God, let an Indiana Fever fan tweet anything to any player and the WNBA is going to release a statement. And Alyssa Thomas and these other girls are going to hold press conferences. Have you seen these tweets? Oh, how hurtful they are. Sticks and fingernails may put out my eye.
The league even suggested involving law enforcement for fans who cross the line. The WNBA showcases some of the top athletes in the world. While we appreciate our growing fan base, we will not tolerate racist, derogatory, or threatening comments directed at players, teams, or anyone associated with the league.